Hello, El Paso. We want to go ahead and introduce this podcast with Estela Casas, and we wanted to go ahead and let you know the reason why we don't have a picture for it. Usually, right after the podcast, we contact the guest and ask them for pictures, and we did so with Estela Casas and never got a response. So here we are releasing the podcast without a picture. Hope you enjoy it though. And if you do, we are on YouTube, like I said, and hit the subscribe button and the like button. That really helps so we could get better and get better guests for El Paso. Thank you. Well, thank you once again for listening to another episode of the Quetzal Talk. And here we have again another beautiful guest from El Paso, Texas, Estela Casas. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. So I have a question.
Right.
So, I'm used to asking a lot of questions, right?
Go for it.
What is Quetzal?
Quetzal, it's a bird from down south Mexico, right? I think my friend can explain it a little better.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful bird in Mexico. Like, it's green and bright feathers that go down all the way to the floor when it's on the tree. And they use it in headdresses. Well, the natives did back in the day, and it's very pretty.
Right, like the Aztecs, they're the ones that did the headdress for the kings and stuff with the Quetzal bird. But we really liked the logo of it, so we kept it.
And the meaning behind it. Well, thank you so
Right.
much. Thank you so much for inviting me to have a conversation with you all today. And I promise I won't ask too many questions. You'll be asking the questions.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, we want to go ahead and thank you once again for coming out on the show and giving us a little bit of your time.
Yeah, thank you. That was very awesome that you responded.
I just think it's a great opportunity to be able to talk to different audiences and connect in different ways, because that's what we're here to do, right? Is to,
Right.
to extend our friendships and to meet more people and to share our stories.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely. And you're starting your own podcast too, right?
Yes, we are here at the Viva Auto Group. It's called Viva Style, and we'll be talking about several topics. This afternoon, we'll be talking to the service manager at Mazda to talk about the safety features in the Mazda vehicles. We've talked about women in automotive. What is the MSRP? Who is Viva? We're going to have a new and used car loans. There are so many topics. So, this is a new chapter in my life. I never imagined I would be working at the Viva Auto Group. But, after 37 years in the broadcast industry, 27 of those years at Channel 7, I transitioned and got a job at UMC and El Paso Children's Hospital Foundations, Borderless Giving, and Children's Miracle Network Executive Director. And after 14 months, I transitioned again. And now I'm here. I'm the creative brand strategist for Viva Auto Group. And basically that means this is, the plans that we have moving forward for the future and marketing as well. We have a terrific team of marketing department. And, we're moving forward with social media and with a new image. We don't like, yelling and screaming. We're selling
Right.
cars. We sell image.
Right. Okay.
So you're not going to be riding on a buffalo or anything?
I'm not going to be riding on a buffalo or standing in front of a tanker or on the ship blowing the horn. No, I'm not going to be doing any of that. I think it's very important. It's a new way of selling image, and that is how are you going to connect with your viewers?
Right.
So, no, I'm not going to be in front of a tanker or whatever.
But just nice cars.
Nice cars, right? Right.
Well, Estela, we want to go ahead and ask you. I mean, I'm sure the people want to know out there. Why did you stop doing broadcast? Did you just want to try something new, or?
It was just time. So broadcast industry is changing, like every industry, and especially during COVID. So I just wanted to transition into something else. I think it was just time And I left on top, at the top of my game, and not many people get to do that,
Right,
because a lot of
right.
people say, "Ay, ándale, pues ya váyase," and that's true. That's true. That's like, we would like to transition, and you see all these beautiful, young, thin, gorgeous girls on
Right.
TV, and it's like, I'm not all those things, and so, but everybody, I believe, brings something special to the table, and I brought different things. I brought, trust and compassion and a lot of things after sharing my journey with breast cancer and thyroid cancer.
Right.
But it was a good transition to go. Well, let me explain why I went from Channel 7 to UMC Foundation. When I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer in 2017, we started the Stand with Estela Fund to help women purchase compression sleeves or wigs or items that are not covered by health insurance.
Right.
And, I saw and I lived the struggle. It's hard. It's hard going through cancer. And it was hard for me going through cancer when I have everything. Now imagine all those women who
Exactly.
don't. So I had the support of my family, I had support of my friends, and I had the support of the whole community. And not everybody is as fortunate. So I thought, let's go and raise some money for the El Paso Children's Hospital. They need to buy a lot of pieces of equipment, UMC as well. And so it was a good transition for me. I didn't leave as just a little PR job.
Right, right.
I left for a big job. And then 6 weeks into my new job, we went into COVID. And so that changed everything. That changed everything for me. And after going through thyroid cancer in 2010, and after going through bilateral breast cancer in 2017, it's like, I need to stop a little bit and smell the roses. And this just kind of happened. I was gonna take 6 months off and I don't know, do stuff, and this just popped up. So
Right.
that's why I am where I am right now.
Hey, well, you seem really happy, so we're glad
I
that
am.
you know.
I am.
And let me ask you one thing. How is it? So twice. I thought you had cancer only once, but it's actually twice, right?
It's actually twice. So let me tell you about my thyroid cancer back in 2010. I was putting my makeup on one night, and I brought my hand farther down into my neck, and I found a 4 centimeter tumor on the right side of my neck. So, I freaked out. I found it right before the 10 o'clock newscast. I don't know how I went through that 10 o'clock newscast, but I did it. And the next day, I got the needle biopsy, and they said, "Oh, it's fine, but you need to get it out." And then I always believe, I believe in angels. There was 2 women at the gym who said, "You've got to get it out. You've got to get your thyroid out, because there's something probably there. It shouldn't be there anyway." And my doctor had told me anyway. But I put it off for 6 months because my son was playing football, and I didn't want to miss any games, and I was yelling and screaming, and I I didn't want to miss out on that. But I finally went in, and it was thyroid cancer, and then a few years later it's bilateral breast cancer. So it's been a struggle, but I feel very blessed. And again, sharing my story and sharing my journey is a very important part of who I am and what I do. I've written a book. It's this close to being published. I have a hybrid publisher, and I hope to publish one of these days. Hopefully by January I can have it ready.
Well, there you go. And let me ask you: when you felt that the tumor there, did you feel like you knew what it was, or it might just be a cyst or something, or did you
I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't even know. On my neck, I had no clue. It was just there. I mean, the first thing you think about is a cancer, right?
Right.
You think the worst, and it's like, how is it going to affect my voice? How is it going to affect my job? Will I be able to be an announcer anymore? Will I stop being an anchor? Will I not be able to sing anymore? All those things just cross your mind, and but basically this thyroid cancer, follicular cancer, was pretty easy. You know, they went in
It
there and
wasn't too bad.
removed, it wasn't too bad, removed the tumor and removed the other side. And I'm on Synthroid for the rest of my life. But the real struggle was the breast cancer.
breast
That's
cancer.
hard. That's hard.
And let me ask you, when you found out about your breast cancer, that moment the doctor told you, how did you feel? What came through your mind at that point?
Well, what happened is that I had gone to see my doctor because I was losing weight. I was taking dance lessons and I was eating right and I was exercising and I had a lot of changes in my life. And so, I thought, well, naturally I'm going to lose some weight, right? I've never been skinny, but I did lose some weight but I thought it was okay. And I went in and she said, when was the last time you had a tetanus shot? It's like a tetanus shot. Well, I don't know. 100 years ago. And she said, well, why did you get it? I said, do I need it? She says, yes, just go ahead and get it. Just get it. You're here. I said, okay. So I got the tetanus shot. And that night, I remember going home feeling not very well. I just really didn't feel well. And then we went on a trip and whatever. And my friend, Sandra Terrazas, who owns Spectrum Therapy Consultants, we all went on a trip together. There was 8 of us who went on a trip together to New York and Washington, D.C. And I said, gosh, Sandra, my arm hurts and look how swollen it is. And then she grabbed it and she looked underneath and noticed that I had swollen lymph nodes. And she said, I see swollen lymph nodes on women with breast cancer. It's like, what? And we were about to go on a tour of Capitol Hill. And so I didn't have time to think about it. I said, when we get back, I'll go to the doctor. And sure enough, the doctor gave me some antibiotics to treat the swelling on the arm because of the tetanus shot. But he also ordered an ultrasound of both breasts, and that's when they found it. I had a mammogram 8 months before, and I had stage 1, stage 2, and so it's very. And I was distracted. I was busy with other things. I've always advocated to be that you are your best health advocate, and I guess I kind of failed, but the tumors were way back near my chest wall. So I don't know. I would have never found them.
Right. So you actually never felt sick. You never had some type of symptom to it.
Nothing.
Damn.
Good thing you had that friend who spotted
She's
that.
a lifesaver. Like I tell you, I believe there are angels and they don't have wings, They come in different shapes and forms and you have to be very well aware of your surroundings because there are people who speak to you in different ways, who deliver different messages. And I think, Sandra is one of my angels and some other women who told me about the thyroid cancer. So listen to the people who love you because they have messages for you that may be not direct, but they're telling you something.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And also wanted to ask you, how was the whole process of your breast cancer? Was it did you go to chemo?
Oh my gosh, it was
radio?
just so fast. So I got my ultrasound on Saturday. I got my first diagnosis. The doctor calls, you have cancer. You need 3 biopsies. And I'm going, okay. On Monday. On Tuesday, I had the biopsies. On Wednesday, I got my initial diagnosis of cancer. On Thursday, I got a breast MRI. On Friday, I had a PET scan. I went away on a trip on a Tuesday, and the week after I came back, I started chemo. I had 6 months of chemo, 6 treatments every 21 days of chemotherapy, 2 immunotherapy drugs and 2 chemo drugs at the same time. I lost my hair 19 days after my first chemo, and for some of you, and my hair, I lost my eyelashes, I lost my eyebrows, and I came out on TV with my wig and with my with my painted on eyebrows and my eyelashes that would fall off, after a newscast. I'd have nosebleeds during a newscast, but I showed up every day. I showed up every day because I had to, first of all, prove to myself that I could do it. Secondly, to show my kids that I was going to be okay. And thirdly, the community stepped forward and showed me their love and support, and I couldn't fail them.
Damn. That's pretty cool.
So it's a mutualistic thing. You guys gave each other strength.
Absolutely, absolutely. And writing about it was also cathartic because that was kind of like my own treatment. And so the things that are, it's 43 chapters and Team Estela, and I hope that this book can bring hope to women and to families going through a cancer journey.
Right, right. And now, let me ask you, back to the broadcast. It was a long career that you had there. What was one of the wackiest stories that you can remember?
Oh, I've got all kinds of stuff, but wackiest stories. Gosh, I don't remember wacky, but I really love to do people stories
Right.
and profiles on people. The highlight of my career was obviously the interview with President Barack Obama,
Oh, wow.
sitting president. I remember that day when I got the call, and they said, "Well, would you like President Barack Obama is inviting you to come speak to him about the Trans-Pacific Partnership." It's like, what? And I said, I got to go do a newscast. I'll be right back. Can you send me an email? So I got my makeup on. I ran into, to do the 5 o'clock, and I'm here checking my email during a newscast in between stories. And they sent it to me because I thought, they're probably lying. And sure enough, I was one of five journalists who were invited to the White House to talk to President Obama about the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The reason why I was selected is because Beto O'Rourke, who was a congressman back then, he was still on the fence on how he would vote. And, that all fell through. But, I got the opportunity to speak with the president for 5 minutes. I have a picture, and that's a highlight of my career.
Wow, that is cool.
But the president or whatever, but the most touching stories is when somebody opens up their heart to you and opens up their home. They allow you inside their home, and they tell you your story, and that's very fulfilling. So yeah, that was a highlight. But everybody that I've interviewed over the years has been has found a special place in my heart. As far as wacky, oh gosh, I don't know. I guess the only thing I can think about that's not wacky, but it's kind of weird. I wear heels all the time because I'm short. And I remember I was at Channel 9 at that time, way 100 years ago, and I was supposed to do the trek to Mount Cristo Rey. And I wasn't wearing the proper shoes, so I had to carry the tripod all the way up. And some lady took compassion of me and gave me her tennis shoes. So that was, I guess, if you want to call that wacky, I guess
Wacky
that's kind of
compassion.
wacky. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And let me ask you, what were you doing when the whole Walmart incident happened with the shooting?
Oh my gosh! So the strangest thing, we were out at a cattle drive. Way out in the middle of nowhere. We had done a cattle drive. I was on a horse. I was watching the guys brand the cattle and castrate the calves, and we were out there in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And my daughter texted me. She's living in Dallas. She says, "Mom, are you okay? Are you anywhere near Walmart?" It's like, no. I'm in the middle of nowhere. What's going on? He says, "Well, there's been a shooting there near the airport." It's like, okay. And then I started getting emails, and then we were in the middle of nowhere, so we didn't have contact with a lot of people, and it was bad connection with our cell phones, and it's like, oh, I better leave. So it took me an hour and a half to get to the house and shower and change and show up to the station, and it was just so devastating, because after all these years that I've reported on shootings and on tragedies and all that stuff, it was in our backyard.
Right.
And it was just, and not only in my backyard. I remember being on the phone with a good friend of mine, the Anchondos, Brenda Anchondo. She was on the phone and she says, "Estela, we can't find my son. I think he may be at Walmart. I think he may have gone to Walmart." The son and the daughter-in-law and the baby they couldn't find him, and sure enough, I was on the phone with her when they got the call saying that it was their son who had died and whose body was still at Walmart. The daughter-in-law had been transported to UMC, and she died when she got there, and the 4-month-old baby was fine. So it was very personal. It was very personal to me. not only through Brenda Chondo and her family, but through my community. My community that stepped up for me, that showed their compassion and their caring for me, and we were all hurting. And so that's probably one of the worst things I've ever lived through as a journalist.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking to everybody, right?
Yeah.
And it's someone has someone close to them that, well, me, I do, someone, I think a lady that my dad knew, she went to school with, and I talked to different people that, I mean, it's really sad,
It's really sad. It's terrible, and especially for the people who lost a loved one or whose lives were changed, because I can't even imagine seeing somebody spray with bullets. But as you know, we just got that the resilient city or something like that. We are one of 10, and so we are El Paso Strong. We are a resilient community. We are a community that can move forward. So. We're strong, and it's all good, and we are getting past this. And then right after the August 3rd shooting, we go into a pandemic, and but we are El Paso Strong, and we need to move forward.
Right. So let me ask you, are you born and raised in El Paso?
Yes, I'm a first generation El Pasoan.
Right.
My parents were from Parral, Chihuahua.
Okay.
I have two much older brothers who were born in Ciudad Juarez, and I grew up with both languages, because I would say Spanish is my first language, but it's English is close, because my two older brothers, they were already in school, and I started talking so at the same time.
Right. And what school did you go to? What high school did you go to?
I graduated. I went to Hillside Elementary, Ross Middle School, Ross Rebel, and I was a Burgess Mustang.
Hey, I went to Burgess too. That's cool.
And then it took me 25 years to graduate from UTEP. But when I was at Burgess, I got a voice performance scholarship to Arizona State. I was in the choir, little choir nerd, and I got a voice performance scholarship to Arizona State, a full ride for 4 years, full ride, and I gave up after 6 months because I wanted to come home. I missed home.
Right. Yeah.
So you gave up on singing altogether?
I gave up on singing. I didn't give up on singing altogether. I got to go to Mexico City and sing, and I was offered a 5-year singing contract with a recording company in Mexico. But you know what? I wasn't that hungry to give up so many gifts here on this side of the border. And I said, I came back home, and I started working at Channel 9 and started my broadcasting experience and career. And it took me 25 years to graduate from UTEP, but I did it. And I did it for my kids. And I did it for my kids and for myself.
Right. Well, that's good. And so you never really had a desire to leave El Paso. You're always been here because you've chosen to.
Well, my parents were here. And when they passed away, I thought, well, maybe we should have left. And, we had a business here. We had our lives here. But life changes. Life changes. And no, I think that you have to keep moving every 2 years. And, with kids and a career. And I just never, I was asked to go to, I was offered jobs out of town, but no, never really wanted to leave. El Paso is a good place, to have a family. And when you're invested in any community that you're invested, the community always gives you back.
I think just that we do have a strong sense of community still, because I've been to other cities too, and I stayed in Austin for a while, and there's not a sense of community. You just have a bunch of people who hang out together, who know each other, but there's not that community sense, sense of tradition, sense of doing the same things. And here in El Paso, you get that.
It's a feeling. It's a feeling that you have to grow, and that you have to take care of.
Right. It feels like a small town here.
It does. It does feel like a small town. We're a big community, with Ciudad Juarez and with Las Cruces, and it is a big community. We're close to probably, or if not over 2 million people already. But it feels like a small town, and that's good.
Right. And how about anything mysterious? Have you ever reported anything on those tunnels they say are under Sunset? Have you ever heard of those?
No. And as far as ghosts are concerned, I don't know about those ghosts. I don't know. I don't know which tunnels you're talking about. The ones that maybe the illegal immigrants use, or the tunnels that are haunted. Neither one of them. No. Neither one of those. No.
No.
What about UFOs? Anything?
Oh, I don't know about UFOs. I don't know about UFOs, but I've been to where is it? Marfa Lights, and where the aliens? Where did they?
Oh, Roswell.
Oh, Roswell.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I believe in spirituality, and I
Right.
believe in a greater being, but I don't know about UFOs and stuff and
And
aliens.
stuff like. Well, let me tell you, like we told you earlier, we did one with JJ Arms, and I don't know, but he said that that the underground military city that it's true and that he's been there. He straight up told us. Have you ever heard anything about that?
No.
Nah.
An underground military city?
Yeah, I've heard like rumors of that since I was a kid, but he said that he actually been there. That when he was in city council in the 80s, that the guy in the army took him down there, and it was crazy. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
I don't know. Well, I imagine that, like the Pentagon and the CIA and, FBI and Homeland Security, I'm sure they have a lot of things that they can't talk about
Right,
and they can't
yeah.
discuss. And so it probably does exist. And I'm thinking that, White Sands is right up the road.
Exactly.
And so maybe
Who knows, huh?
maybe
Just a
secrets,
facility out
but
there
I've
or
never been out there. And if I had been, and if I knew anything like that, and it would be off the record, I wouldn't be telling you.
Right? Hey, maybe at some point you would.
No, but no, I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, damn, dude, that's crazy. Well, do you have any questions, man?
No, I think we've gone through what we wanted to know, and anything that you would want to talk about.
Well, I just want to talk a little bit about the Viva Auto Group, and I'm real happy to be here. I think it's an opportunity to tell our story. It's not about just selling cars; it's about selling cars with purpose and that connection. So we're putting together podcasts so you all can see the value of listening and learning more about the auto industry. And every day I learn something
Right.
new, and I think it's very important to get out of your comfort zone and learn new things. And
Right.
I learn something every day, and I just try to find my place in all the new things that I'm learning, and it's fun, and I feel very fortunate to be here and to be part of the El Paso community, and now a part of the automotive industry here in El Paso.
And let me ask you, I heard there's the chip shortage and that is affecting how the cars are being made. Is that affecting you guys any?
Oh, absolutely. You've probably noticed the lots are pretty empty. So we're not getting vehicles. There are factories that have stopped working for two weeks at a time because they simply don't have chips or simply don't have people who want to go back to work.
Right.
There's
so it's all to
people who
do with
aren't
the
working.
COVID then?
Well, it's all COVID. So remember when we all started, when we all had to go work from home, everybody was using their laptops, and cell phones have chips.
Right.
Laptops have chips. A lot of the technology that we have uses chips. So everything went there. And then in Japan, a chip manufacturing plant burnt down. And we have 3 chip manufacturing plants in Texas, and they're speeding up. And then people don't want to go back to work. And, so that it's just a lot of things. COVID really it hit the reset button. It was an equalizer for everyone. And it's having a ripple effect on every part of our lives.
And is it affecting prices or not that much?
Well, it should, because now we get 5 cars in instead of 60.
Right.
As you can see, we buy cars, we have used cars, and everything. The value of everything went up. I don't know if you've noticed that when you go to a restaurant, it's more expensive now.
Yeah.
Anything and everything that you try to buy these days costs more money. Mm-hmm. Now, I can't, I'm not knowledgeable enough about the chip shortage. I can bring you somebody to talk about this, but. All I know is that it's affecting the auto industry. You see the car lots are a lot emptier. You see a lot of used cars in the parking lots now in the dealerships, and it's just been a change in everything.
Right.
Do you think this is a trend that's going to continue, or do you think it'll go back and
No,
even
it'll go.
itself out?
I think it'll even itself out. Like everything, eventually everything will go back to a new normal. After suffer from a pandemic, after you suffer from cancer, after you get a new job, after you have a life-changing event, you're kind of destabilized, and then you stabilize again, and you just start anew with your new normal. I think so. It has to.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
We have no choice. We
have
must
no
do
choice.
it.
We have no choice. I
Just
think
keep going.
I think I think a lot of people are comfortable not working from home. So I think a lot of these buildings are going to remain empty, and people are going to be able to work from home. I think that some people are going to say, I'm not going to go back to work. I'm going to live off my savings or whatever, and they're not going to go back to work. So I think the pandemic has really changed and made us question our place in the world.
Right. And also, one more question. Everyone was, when the pandemic started, everyone was really scared because it was going to be this big thing that was going to kill everyone. How did you feel about it? Were you really scared, or were you like, maybe?
No, I was a little scared. I was a little scared, having had, cancer and having, kids at home. I mean, I have young adults and a teenager at home. And so, it was concerning. After you heard that people with no underlying conditions, so I'm not diabetic, I don't have high blood pressure, I don't have any of those things, but I'm a cancer fighter.
Right.
And so you never know what can go inside your body that will kill you. And so I thought, well, if it's my turn to go, it's my turn to go. Pues ni modo.
Right.
But I was hoping it wouldn't be.
Right, yeah. We're all hoping
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Hey, well, it's good to see that you're very energetic and you're very good and happy and everything's going good for you.
I am super blessed. I see that every day is a gift,
Right.
and it's not only a gift but an opportunity to help make a difference in somebody's life. You walk down the hall and you have to recognize and acknowledge everyone around you because we're all going through something, right? And just smile and say something positive to somebody or compliment someone. I think it's important, and we all I like to challenge people to say nice things. It's easier to be nice than to be mean, right?
Right.
So
Exactly.
I just feel very blessed, and I just like to share some of my blessings as well.
Well, we'd like to thank you once again for talking to us here at Quetzal Talk. And where can they find your podcast?
Well, we're still preparing it, but you can always go to vivaautogroup.com and you'll be able to see some of our commercials. I do commercials, and we'll be able to see the podcasts and everything and anything that you want to know about the automotive industry, and how to fix your car, when to change your tires, the recall, the OnStar, and the Mazda Connect, and women in automotive, and what is MSRP, and safety, and the colors of cars, and just the car loans, and a lot of those topics. We'll be covering a lot of those topics, and we're getting ready to launch that probably in July sometime.
Well, there you go, people. And before we go, what is one message you would like El Chuco to know? I mean, we're very, like I said, very tight community. We're very family oriented. So what would you like them to know from your part?
Just that every day you should look at the beautiful sunrise if you're up before 6 o'clock in the morning, and take the time to look at the beautiful sunsets that we have here and enjoy, and be blessed and be thankful and grateful for all the beautiful things in our life. Whether you have everything that you desire or things that you look forward to having down the road, remember that all of these are things. I like to be surrounded by beautiful things, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to take it with me. The things that I'm going to take with me are the love of my family and my friends and my community, and the experiences that I have. And don't wait till you get a life-changing or life-threatening diagnosis to enjoy life.
Exactly.
It's so beautiful that you just have to find your place in the world and enjoy it and celebrate it and live it each day.
That's a very positive message to leave off with. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, very beautiful message from a very beautiful person. And thank you so much for talking to us, Estela.
You all have a great day.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias.